So those on our website can join us as well this morning. Good morning to all of you out there, and appreciate you being a part of this with us. We're going to start today with Philippians chapter 4. And, a lot of times we like the Philippians 4:13, but we forget about what Philippians chapter 4 and verse number 12 says. I know what it is to be in need, Paul wrote, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. That's Philippians chapter 4 and verse 12. I'd rather live a Philippians 4:13 life, wouldn't you? But that verse before it always gets me. I'd rather jump into the doing all things through him who gives me strength, without kind of going through the content in every situation part. And the second verse makes for some great posters, makes great memes on social media. But now when I read it, all I can think is whether living in plenty or in want. Talk about a buzzkill, huh? But God's plans come in a larger size than my earthly satisfaction. He wants my sanctification, my being made more like Jesusness. He wants me to see that his riches don't come with, expiration dates or limited warranties. They are not earned by the sweat of my brow. Instead, God's riches come from my being able to be content. Paul told Timothy that godliness with contentment is what? Great gain. And he's driving at the same thing here in Philippians chapter 4. Strength. According to the world, it boils down to laying claim to the most stuff, to getting the most power, model spouses, emphasis on the plural, houses and influences. But those who think that way can never be content no matter the situation in their lives. And when their strength disappears, they wilt. Some do whatever it takes to get back to where they were. Some end up in rehab. Some see no reason to live. Some strength, huh? But Jesus, he doesn't play by our rules. His beautiful bunker busters make that pretty clear in Matthew chapter 5. The weak, the poor, the hungry, those are the ones who receive the treasures. You see, Jesus does want us to get to the Philippians 4:13 life. But to do that, he has to demolish our strongholds by taking us through Philippians 4:12 first. We're strong through him when we've learned to clear what we think we need in this world and see him as our all-sufficient treasure and see him as the all-sufficient treasure that he really is. In Colossians 2 and 3, it tells us that. And but when we go to Philippians 4 and 13, we understand we can do all things through him. If you notice the rest of that verse, who strengthens us. It's through him. I can do all things through Christ who strengtheneth me. Well, why do you need strength? Because, to get to that point, we have to learn to be satisfied in his all things, the plans that he has for us. That's because it's his strength and not ours. Do you get that? God's plans for us don't always send us down the paths that we might choose. Okay, well, they rarely do. Okay, that's why true contentment becomes so vital for the Christ follower. And the only way we can get there is to die and die and die to ourselves. Every day we die even to the things that supposedly make us strong in this world. Every day we kill the need to have more, to be more. Every day we die for him. You are strong where your commitment in Christ begins. Thank you so much for joining us. Good morning, Brother Crendall. Appreciate you joining us today. He said he's a third shifter. So, this is kind of an early morning for you for sure. And I know you're probably ready for some rest, but it's good to have you with us today. Appreciate each and every one of you joining us. Don't forget, we have Tuesday night Children's Church online. Wednesday night is church online. Thursday, we have our Throwback Thursday service. Friday night, Sister Kelsey will be doing her First Lady Friday. And Also, we're going back to church in person September 27th. Thank you to all of those who have reached out, to those that are sick. We had quite a few COVID cases there at the church, and so we decided it would be best just to shut down for a little bit, just to make sure, shut down the in-person worship services, just to make sure that it was not going to spread. Wasn't sure who all had really been affected, and so it was time to really be careful. And so we appreciate you being mindful of that, and appreciate you joining us on this Monday. I hope you have a great Monday, y'all. I know it's sometimes we all can look at Monday and there's all those memes out there. Oh, the weekend's over and all this. Go into it with a positive attitude. Be excited that this is another week of opportunity that the Lord has given you. Hope you have a great week.